Good evening. This is Scorpio Chronicles, and you're watching Kickstarter Connection. Good evening. This is Scorpio Chronicles, and we thank you for joining us for Kickstarter Connections. Today is April 27th, and of course, we have another good show for you tonight. Kickstarter Connections is the place where we introduce you to new creators, independent comic artists, independent comic but creators in the community, and just to help get the word out. Speaking of independent comics and creators and artists in the community, if you can, please go over to indiecomicdispatch.com and take a look at the different reviews that we have on different independent comics, artists and creators, and the people that all are behind the project. And also take a look at our top 10 list. And also, while you're there, if you want to help support Indie Comic Dispatch, go ahead and hit our Patreon and support us so we can continue to do what we love to do, which is introduce you to independent artists, their their creativity, and the world behind independent comics. And besides, I enjoy doing the show. If you like doing the show, you'll go ahead and click that link and support. But without further ado, we do have our guest tonight from CnS Comics. We are talking to Mr. Wilson Lee, no relation to Bruce Lee, I take it.
Not to my knowledge, not to my knowledge, but I do straight kick it. So,
Nice, awesome to hear. How are you doing today?
doing well. I had a wonderful day yesterday celebrating my birthday with family and
Hap-
friends. And then everybody came through hardcore on the Kickstarter for it too. So,
Oh,
thanking everybody up.
happy belated birthday
Yeah.
for that. And we do thank you all for supporting the
22 for like
Kickstarter.
another decade strong. So, in
He's
case
still
anybody's
22.
wondering, it's something like that, decade and some change of 22 going here. So,
You
trying
gotta
to keep it
let
rolling.
look, you gotta let that go. Just drink a lot of water. You'll still look 22 if you can continue to drink your water.
That's it. Look, that's roasted dandelion root tea going on right there, and then alkaline water.
Me?
Yeah, I try to keep it healthy.
Not a problem at all. That's what you're supposed to do. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it and get started. And we're gonna talk about your Kickstarter that is out. But of course, before we get into that, we do have to go into like a few questions. Like, if you could just give us a little background on how did you become a comic book creator?
Sure, sure. So I've always loved to write and just tell stories. I'll just sit there and talk you to death, nerd out on comics that I love and like high fantasy novels.
Yeah.
Huge, huge, huge Lord of the Rings nerd. Love
Oh,
my Star Wars, dig Dune. So that type of big world, big
mhm.
dreaming universe scape type of creation was always a thing to me. We used to play with toys. I got three brothers, and we would
Mhm.
create the most ornate and intricate storylines with these toys
Of
and
course.
just map out gangster plots for things that should be three-piece trilogies at this point.
Yep.
Um, but it kind of all starts with always telling a story. I find myself always either telling someone a story or telling myself a story about things I'm seeing.
Mhm.
Um, and one day I was sitting down to, for probably the fifth time, I guess, write my great Lord of the Rings novel. It was going to
Uh-huh.
happen. And I'm writing about the last five human beings left alive in a city called Drellin as the darkness closes in. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, out of the sky bursts this bright light, and the immortal queen Tolasha drops down and just wipes the battlefield. And I
Wow.
was immediately distracted by Tolasha. My novel again got sidetracked, and I decided that what I really wanted was some kind of graphic storytelling medium
Mhm.
to explain this character that had just magically floated into my brain. I fell in love with the concept of the immortal queen
Uh-huh.
Tolasha, and then I essentially built a universe around her and built a narrative to make her make sense. And that's what you're reading now is the
Mhm.
story that ends with the immortal queen Tolasha and the full of her power, the way I first imagined her. So that's how it
Well,
started.
speaking of her, I mean, she is a bad woman. Look at that one right there.
That's the
So
queen.
that is a very, 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 very nice picture. I take it that's how she started before she actually came from the sky. So that's what how I would see it right there. But that is that I really love the artwork and I love the visual of her. So very, 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 some
Yeah,
very good
Steven
stuff. So
Sash Scott, man, like I'm so pleased with the work
yeah.
the artist does. I said to him that I need it to feel like it was made in the 90s.
Mm,
And I think that that comes through page after page.
yes.
Sometimes I worry that you put your artist in a box, but I always
Hmm.
envision this as something that should have got made in my childhood but didn't. So
Yeah.
I want it to feel like it comes from where it actually comes from.
Yes, and it does. It gives you a very 90s feel. So he hit the nail on the head. He very well, very
Man's
well
got
done.
game.
Yes, he does. Very well done. So if you can tell us a little bit about your project, what you just did. For those of you that are watching, if you want to go ahead and back, the link is in the comments there. You can go to that link and go ahead and back the project. It's doing very well. We're trying to get him fully, completely funded, plus a little extra on top. There's nothing wrong with a little extra
Hey,
right there.
sprinkle it in.
Yeah, we all love a little extra. So tell us about a little bit more about your project and the creative team behind it. We already know who the artist is, so give us a little bit more about the writer and editor and all that.
Right. I do all the writing and editing for the series. All the books that you're going to get in the
Mm,
Kickstarter are scripts that I've written. We're
mm-hmm.
looking at trying to expand out, and that's part of what the Kickstarters are all about, is trying to expand that
Yeah.
platform and bring in other
Mm-hmm.
creators into the universe. Um, with this Kickstarter project, Sash has done all the page work, the lettering, and the colors for issues
Mm-hmm.
2 and 3. Issue
Yeah.
1 had some featured artwork from Eder Messiah, did some line art in the first half of the book.
Yeah.
But me and Sash are rolling deep pretty much at this point. We're working now on what we're fundraising for is essentially issue 4,
Mm-hmm.
which I'll also combine into a volume 1 for the Tales of the Stars series, which is what you're experiencing now. That
Mm-hmm.
volume 1 will have all 4 of the books plus the mini stories that go in between that you have yet to experience, that kind of fill in some backstory for each of the characters you've been introduced to, along with a lot of the process work from the creation of those books. So that's all going to get slammed together in a volume 1. We will probably roll out issue 4 in a Kickstarter again, like we've done here with previous books, but this may be the first Tales of the Stars book that isn't
Mm-hmm.
pretty much finished before we launch the Kickstarter. So here with
Oh
issue
wow.
3, the book's already done. I've got it in my hand. We're in final
Mm-hmm.
edit mode. The test copies have come in. We're pretty much ready to rock and roll. The next time we come out, you'll actually be funding a book that is in process of creating. So to take a little
Oh
bit longer to
wow.
get to you. But this one, as soon as we
Mm-hmm.
close out, I think we're in day 4, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And we funded in 3 days. Thank you guys for
That
that.
is
So if you
awesome.
guys want to give me a couple extra $1,000, I
Go
can put in
ahead.
some work with that. So
Yes.
bring it,
Y'all
bring
heard
those
that?
pledges.
Y'all heard that?
And we're doing something with backer
Mm-hmm.
stretch goals. So every 10 backers we get for the project, we're at 32 now. So 8 more
Mm-hmm.
backers will unlock another digital poster. So every
Mm-hmm.
10, we're giving every backer a digital poster for every 10 backers we get.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had some requests for physical posters.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm gonna pull out some big guns here. If we hit some dollar goals, I haven't decided exactly where we would need to be for that, but I've got some really sick stuff that's been hiding in the vault,
Oh
um,
yes.
that we may bring out to kind of incentivize you guys to go above and beyond for me out there, which I appreciate you all doing already.
Yeah,
I think we're already over 100%. So thank you.
that's
Thank you. I really,
awesome.
really appreciate it.
That is awesome. And we do thank you all. That is something that I do stride on. That's why I call on the people on IG, I call them comic book family because that's what we do. We support each other. You
Those
know,
are my
we
partners.
we help each other out there. And you know what? Speaking of test copies you mentioned, isn't there something you're gonna show a little at the end of the show, possibly?
So
That
the
you
limited cover of issue 3 came in the mail. I haven't opened it up. Like I always pull my address off so you guys
mm-hmm.
don't come visit me uninvited.
You just
But
come knocking on your door.
other than that, I mean, if you come and announce, that's different. We cook a plate, we feed you, we sit you down. But I'm really excited to open this because the first time when I ordered the test copies the first time,
Mm-hmm.
I messed up. and ordered issue 3 with both the classic covers, which this is my favorite covers so far. This one is Sash on the classic issue 3. Each one of our Tales of the Stars series rolls out with a limited cover and a classic cover. The limited we only ever do 100 of, and then the classic is the cover that you would get from there on. But I love this one. Like, Sash really went hard. This is these symbols and all these images will make a lot more sense to people as they go along in the story and you start to get introduced to the mortals. This one's got like a true back cover as well. So those are Spaceway Pirates. That's the first race of mortals that Talasha comes across. So within the universe, these are the first group she runs into. And the encounter between Toll and the Spaceway Pirates is a trip. You're going to laugh a little bit. It's going to be fun.
Oh boy.
So excited to have you guys get your hands on that one. But yeah, man, like, I'm waiting to open this like hardcore whenever we get to opening time.
We're gonna save that till the end of the interview.
And that's the Sean Damian Hill cover. He's doing pencil work for the big dogs now. He's like doing pencil work for Marvel and so.
Maximilian, we say hello to you, sir. He's saying, how are you doing? He said, what's up? You doing it big, bro? So Bristol
trying to get like you, fam. They had a really awesome Kickstarter that just went the distance and then some. I'm a backer of that project. I'm looking forward to getting my piece.
Mr. Jordan Frazier also throw the hands up to
that's my man right there. We go way back to childhood. He's been down since day one. Appreciate you always supporting us out here.
Appreciate you, Jordan.
And I just want to give a shout out to Havelock, man. Like, my hometown came through so hard and heavy-handed on this Kickstarter. They like cleaned out the top tiers before anybody could even get a look at them.
That's awesome.
It's just absolutely amazing. 100% feel the love from the hometown. That's like something special when you get that local love. So thank you for the local love. I appreciate you guys.
That does make you feel good. So you make your mark in your hometown. So now you kind of gave us a little history already about your comics. So we're gonna go with this. How long have you been working on the book? And you've already told me where you got the idea. So how long have you been working on the book to get it to where it is now?
So there are essentially 14 completed scripts. I wrote this, like I said, I was going to write a novel. So it started off in novel form that kind of, as I went along, I craved more and more of the visual piece and started to make the changes to format it into actually a comic medium. So if you see the prose in it, the prose are quite thick and meaty because it comes from a novel originally. And I worked with Sash to pull out the best prose to slide in there without overwhelming the page with words. But all 14 scripts are completed. I wrote the Tales of the Stars series proper. I think I completed it in 2017, copyrighted it in 2017 maybe, or 2018, and then started to take serious measures after I hit up like a Comic-Con in Durham, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I saw Marcus the Visual and the boys there with Tuskegee airs, and I was like, I can have a Black woman with an afro slaying dragons in outer space. People are ready for this. They are ready for this. It will work. So after that, I was like, all right, I'm going to really take the steps to turn this into something visual, an actual visual medium. But all 14 scripts are written. So like, as you fund us, if you drop these dollars on a brother, I will drop books on the family out there. Everything's scripted out. Everything's written. It's a really, like, this main story arc is all fleshed out, but I've also written 2 more issues of the Captains, which you'll get a 0 issue in phase 0 with this Kickstarter. That's in the same universe. Universal Deliveries is in the same universe. So I've got a lot of scripts that fit within this universe. And I got some that haven't been pulled out of the vault that fit into this, like, the story arc after the Cosmic Dragon story arc. Like, we're mapped out 3 ages deep with what can happen within this universe. So the more funding we get, the more content you'll get without question.
everybody that I have spoken to has a vault of stuff that they just have not released out and they're waiting to
Oh man.
release out. So I like to hear that. So that means you're hiding some good you're hiding the some you
And it's
have good stuff.
hurting me. Like I want to show it to you so bad, but I can't
But it's
like go
like,
too fast. I got to give you
yeah,
what you. I mean, you're still chewing on Toll. You're
yeah.
still going to get the rest of the immortals in this universe. But there's, if we hit, I'm going to go ahead and say it. If we get to 3,000, I will
Hmm.
roll out an additional add-on poster. I won't be able to give it away at $3,000, but
Hmm.
I will make it available to you guys. It is a set of characters that hits a part of the universe that really explodes it into what I think will get a lot more people that if
Hmm.
you're not like all in on high fantasy,
Yeah.
then we'll get you with this group a little bit better because they're human, they're mortal, not necessarily human. They're
Sure.
what we call the Ednyani, which is the humans
Um,
of our universe.
yeah.
And the things that they do have some of the farthest reaching impacts in the universe. A lot of the things that you see with mortals go
Hmm.
all the way back to the roots of the Ednyani and the children of Kebu. So
Hmm.
that is you'll that's all I can say about the
That's it.
children of Kebu. That's all I can give you is that when you are introduced to the children of Kebu, um, it's gonna mess your mind up. You're gonna be like, "What? Where am I? What? I need it. I need it right now." And
I
I'll give
love
it to
that.
you just like that. So
I love that. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So your Kickstarter has already launched and you have how many more days left?
we are. I think we have 26 days left. We're in day 4. We launched
Okay.
on the 23rd. We were able to fund by my birthday on the 26th because
What a good
y'all
birthday
are
present.
beast mode. Made my birthday so awesome. Like I was like, oh my goodness, we already done did it.
That is
Um,
awesome.
yeah, man. Like I just don't even know what to say. I just said I was like, ah, like you just sit in a room by yourself screaming like a psycho. But it's good. It's good.
Oh yeah, that is
Hey,
awesome. So that's
thank you,
Bristol
Max.
Media doing what they do. They're giving you back love. So we appreciate the Bristol Media. They do come through all the time.
All
Now,
the time, man.
speaking of Kickstarters, we're gonna go ahead and get into the different goals and rewards. You did
Sure,
mention
sure.
some of them already, but we're gonna go a little bit more in detail. Of course, while you're talking about that, I am going to pull the Kickstarter up so we can all take a look at it, and then we can go ahead and take a talk about it. So go ahead and get started with the Kickstarter. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have 32 backers. It says 25 more days to go. And we
25. Oh, I was
and we
close.
have one day off. And then we also have went over the goal of 2,000. Now it's $2,138, which is awesome. So we need y'all to please keep
Keep them
pledging,
coming.
keep
So that
keep.
2000 represents, based on the way things calculate out on a Kickstarter with the cost
Mhm.
of rewards and Kickstarter getting a cut of that paper.
Yeah,
That's like a 50% match. So you
yeah.
guys put it up 2000 matches 50% of my costs on issue 4. So if you want to
Mhm.
go harder and kind of cushion me some more on that, that would be fantastic. But
Yes.
really, I'm really just looking for you guys to engage with the work. So most of my goals this time are more around backers. So
Mhm.
that's why we're giving away a free digital poster for every 10 backers we have for the project. So when we hit 40, we will
Mhm.
release and you will unlock yet another free digital poster with the project, all the way up to 100. So keep those pledges coming, whether it's $1 to
Mhm.
whatever, $1 million. If you got it like that, hook it up. Um, Whatever you're throwing in there will help everybody get more rewards from the project because we really just want you to engage with the work. So
Yeah, awesome. That is exactly what we want to do. So right along with the rewards and the goals that we have. So go ahead and give us a little bit of background on those and what to expect.
yeah, so this time we included an opportunity to get completely caught up. There are tiers that will allow you to get every non-limited cover product that we have.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 tiers that had the coveted issue 1
Mm-hmm.
limited cover. We printed like, like I said, we only do 100 of these. There were 102 made. The first test print was defective and the double page layout was on the wrong pages. A friend of mine bought that for $50 when I was struggling for some bread. I appreciate him for that. I promise him that it will pay him back. He's got like gold. But that was the very first print ever was defective. Then I have my test print that's in a frame. And then there were 99 of them that essentially went out now that these two have been claimed. And that leaves one non-claimed limited cover number 1. So if you have one of these, and one of them was destroyed. A good friend of mine had some troubles where this cover got destroyed. So there's only 99 of these physically in print. So if you have one, hold on to that one, take care of it. I think that when I make my bones and make it big, you're going to have something serious here. So, but there are tiers that allow you to get all of the covers. We have a total of 6 Tales of the Stars covers, limited for each issue. There's also the Phase Zero 2021 edition, which contains the 4 different 4-page samples, Universal Deliveries, the Captains, the Canopy, and the Eager City Chronicles, which is like a horror detective story. This one is essentially not for the kiddies. The Tales of the Stars you can kind of give to anybody. There's no raw language or hyper violence. Eager City and Universal Deliveries, they're a little bit more edgy. Eager City has got some graphic violence and some crude language. Universal Deliveries takes some lowball shots at humor, a little potty humor in there, because who doesn't need a little potty humor in their lives?
Of course.
But this is just an opportunity to sample out a bunch of different stories. What you have there is the bronze level. We have bronze level, silver level, and gold level Tales of the Stars packages. We also have the Tales of the Stars collections, Tales of the Stars Limited. So we tried to offer a way for, we've had a lot of supporters who've been with us since day one that may just want to get certain collector's items that we offer. We wanted to make those tiers available without them having to get the whole kit and caboodle. And then for those of you just getting with us, we've put out some rewards where the whole kit and caboodle is available. That's an early bird. There's 2 of those that are available until this Friday, the 30th. We'll run through the 30th. And that contains one of our mini posters, an actual physical mini poster. So
now, what I would tell people is when you get the digital comic books or the digital posters, I always say hold on to those because hopefully they turn into NFTs and then they'll be worth a lot of money.
Right. That's like a Monet after that.
So that's just something that you want to hold on to. So I take all of my digitals and I make sure I save them. So I'll make sure that I do have them because the way things are going now, everything is going digital. They may just turn those into NFTs, and then
those are going to be golden lotto tickets. We definitely are looking downstream at converting all of the digital products we provide into NFTs. This may not be the right place to go deep on that, but do your research. It's definitely worth looking into.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna go into that. I've done my research, and I'm just like, man, I want to get on that.
Scorpy hustling, Scorpy hustling. That's what he just told you right there. Is I'm hustling out here. I got my Bitcoins. I'm looking at these NFTs.
I do. I got my Bitcoins. I got my Ethereum. I do. Trust me, I do. I have all of that stuff. I do. I promise you. I got some Pokemons. I got some comic books. I do, but I mostly do a lot of my stuff mainly for comic books. Just because they're near and dear to me, and I love comic books, and they just so happen to turn into I bought this one just in time. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, hey, it's worth a lot now. So okay, cool, and so that's just the main thing. But everything else, that's mainly long-term investments. Just to give y'all a little heads up. So even though yes, the Bitcoin did go down yesterday a little bit, that's when you should have jumped in. I went and bought more, but oh well.
Right, anyhow, buy the dip if you believe.
Yes, anywho, I'm sorry. Back to the Kickstarter, y'all. I took it off. I took it
No,
off.
no. Look, financial education is part of the
Yes, it
Kickstarter is a
is.
financial tool. So
Yes, it is. So yeah, I look forward to that. So with the Kickstarter that was created, we saw some of the goals. We see some of the things that was, that you can get, the rewards and things like that. So go ahead and make sure that we do get that backed and get him up to
click the
over
link in the
passing point.
bio. If we hit 3K, I'll release a physical mini poster for you guys to add on
Y'all
at
hear
a
that?
decent edition price. If we hit 5K, I'll give everybody that. I'll give everybody an additional poster. If we can hit 5K, I'll give you a poster. If you hit 4, I'll make two new posters
Mhm.
available of add-on. So as physical, not just
There
the
you
digital.
go.
I know people love the physical. I'm gonna do that for you tonight because I'm kicking it with Scorpio. He got me
We
feeling
appreciate you.
myself, got me
Big.
feeling you guys out there. So I wanna give more opportunity to get in there. You got me like, you know what? Yeah, I'm feeling pumped up over
I
here
don't
hanging out.
blame
So
you. I don't blame you. Don't be ashamed of that at all.
let's
I
do
do not
this.
blame you. But
Accept the challenge, hit that 3K, we'll make it
oh yeah,
happen.
oh
The
yeah, I've
captains
seen it.
is legit. Like I've had so much fun
Mhm.
writing that.
Yeah.
Jordan, I'll force a little sample on every now and then and be like, read this, tell me what you think. So
Oh yeah.
he
See,
gets some of the sneak peeks.
it's good to have friends like that. It is good to have some people like that. Now, we talked about the campaign. We see all the stuff that you have done for this campaign, what you're actually getting the Kickstarter ready for. After all of this is done, this campaign is done. What's next, or either what other projects that you're working on, or are you going to take some time and relax a little bit, or is it back to work to the next project?
Well, we never stop. You'll probably see a Kickstarter for the captains right behind this one, maybe as quickly as June, because we're already doing the page work on
Yeah.
a true issue one for the captains. I've
Uh-huh.
written 2 of the 4 scripts for the 4 book story arc that I have set up for the first run of the captains. So you will be seeing that. Like I said, I need to bring you the Children of Kebu. So
Yeah.
just know that engaging with the Captains series will bring you into that world proper. The Captains is going to start off taking place before the events of the Tales of the Stars series that you're seeing now. So
Yeah.
Talasha is not yet in existence, and it
Hmm.
really is more about the mortals, the spaceway pirates, and what their journey is like throughout
Hmm.
existence. So that will be quick on the hills. The other thing that we're looking at doing, and a lot of what this is about, I always talk about the infrastructure that we've built and providing that platform for other creators. So we're
Yeah.
going to expand out our other services where we provide some digital publishing and editing services, working to give some consulting services and help you connect with artists if you're a writer
Mm.
creator that wants to start producing work. We want to
Oh.
start knocking down those barriers. So we've got a really robust website built that we're continuing to build on to so
Mhm.
that we can do more of that and expand more services that kind of support the indie community that's supporting us. So look
Oh
for
wow.
that probably Q3. That is
Mm.
near and dear to my heart. We're going to start digitally publishing some other artists and some other creators on our site so that
Mm.
they can piggyback onto that infrastructure without having to build it all themselves. So that would be what's next.
Digital is the way, you all. Everything is going digital. And I don't know if you
Yeah,
noticed, the brick and mortar stores are
all day.
slowly. So everything is going digital. So now that we know that he's kind of like me. You rest, but got to get back to it. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no stopping. So you got to get that stuff out to him. So just before we go to the big reveal, which we're gonna do that. Not
Can
yet.
I push the button?
Not
Don't
yet.
put.
No. No,
Can,
not
no.
yet. One more question.
Okay.
One more
All right. All
question.
right. All right.
Okay. While you were creating this comic, this character, this is one thing that I like to hear from creators because it kind of gives people the kind of a little bit of the behind the scenes, but not too much. Were there any, or what obstacles did you have while going through setting up the campaign, creating the character? What was there any barriers, anything that you thought was going to go through and it was a quick chop down? Kind of give us love
All right,
behind
so I'm
it.
gonna be real with people out here. Like,
Yes.
every 6 months, you want to cry and quit. Sometimes, like you will have. And I'm gonna get closer to the camera.
Come closer.
Sometimes you cry by yourself in a room, like maybe not just tears running down, but you'd be like, "Oh my God, the artist hasn't answered me in 3 weeks, and I gave him my money." This
Yeah.
is a reality. Sometimes it teaches you how to do better things, but
Yeah.
you cry sometimes. It hurts. It's not always the victory dance. Sometimes there's the pain.
Yes.
And the pain is always worth it. But I don't want people to go into things seeing me always in celebration and joy and
Mhm.
not realize the dark hours in the corner where
Yeah.
you doubt that what you're
Mhm.
doing makes sense, that you're going to be able to see the finish line. So if you're out there creating right now and you're going through that, that
Mhm.
is part of having these moments where you're like, holy crap, we just funded in 3 days. All those hours that you're putting in, the effort the return will eventually match your effort because you are doing the right thing. Continue to believe in yourself if you love what you're doing.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to get close to you guys and say, if you cry sometimes, it's okay. We all do. All right, so
Oh my goodness. Even you got Maximilian telling you facts. There are sometimes you just want to cry. And then Jordan Frazier just broke down. He said sometimes your website gets closed down for no reason. What do you do? Quit? No, you build a new website.
This happened to me right before the Kickstarter. Like I
Oh my
completely
goodness.
rebuilt the website on an entirely new host and essentially went in 6 days of long dark nights, learned an
Oh
entirely
wow.
new software, built a whole new site, and because I believe. So you just,
Yeah.
if you believe, you push through. And I swear, like those moments where you want to quit and you don't,
Hmm. Yeah.
reinforce you. Like it gets harder
Yes,
to
it
break you
does.
the next time, and you become more convinced
Yeah.
that you can. So just believe in your stuff. Like I always say, you gotta believe in your stuff, and other people will too.
Hey, that is awesome. So now is the time, Mr. Lee,
Push the
to
button.
press the
All
button.
right, look, I gotta do this. All right, so forgive me, but I'm gonna take this apart real slow because, like I said, I always try to be
Mhm.
real with you guys. What indie creation is like. One of
Yeah.
y'all are gonna get this box from this Kickstarter package. This very same box, I'm opening her up right now. I'm
Oh
gonna
wow.
black out what they wrote up here, and I'm gonna write yo stuff in there, and you gonna get this very same box.
Oh yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with recycling.
Where that's how we stay green and
Oh
also
yes.
keep the cost down.
Also
But
save a little money. Oh yeah.
pull real slow. Like you can get the tape real slow. I know people
Yeah.
want to go fast, but if you go real slow, it'll be almost like
Yeah.
it hasn't been used yet.
There you go. Well, we're
All
not
right.
worried
So if
about
you
the
get
book.
that box, consider it a collector's item. This was
There you
this
go.
was my box, and now you got the box that I got. That should be worth a little bit more. All right, here we
Yeah.
go. So we also had to do a reprint of Phase Zero because,
Hmm.
of course, we're in our test print. There were some changes that needed to get made, and we made them. And now, come on. See, this is how you know it's a true opening
Oh yeah.
because it doesn't go smooth. And
No.
all right, here we go. So that's Phase Zero. You've seen Phase Zero. We've all
Hmm.
seen that one. That's the reprint. I'm sure that we just did some
Yeah.
font changes.
Hmm.
So that's going to be great. All right. Okay. I know that's not what we're looking for. Oh, all right. All right. I got to see it, but forget y'all. You got to order it.
Don't do that. That's
All
terrible.
right. All right. All right. Here we go. You ready for this?
You're
Oh, man.
ready.
It came out good.
That is,
Holy moly.
and just in case if you all cannot see, here it is right here.
Oh, boy.
That is such a beautiful cover.
So Sean Hill really put it down
Oh
on
my
this
goodness.
one. Um, I've never seen Toll. Like, this is one of my favorite parts about the limited covers is everybody
Uh,
does their own take on Toll.
yeah.
And I love to see the different incarnations of Tolasha. Now, Sash's Toll is canon. So if you're wondering what canonical Toll is like, check Sash's page work. That is the truest Toll. But this one right here is the one
Wow.
that you should tattoo on your chest or across your back.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
And of course, you got some flames already talking
Thanks, sir.
about the
Thanks,
book.
sir. And I'll give you a
That
little
is
interior too, because
that
what's
is
life
such
like
a
without a
beautiful
little
book.
interior?
That is such a
We
beautiful book.
got some sweet spreads in here. This is one of the double page layouts. So
I wish your artist was here tonight so I can send like a virtual hug to him.
yes, man, he really. This is.
That is awesome work. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That's a straight movie poster right there.
that is fire.
That is. I
Maybe
really
we'll
love
make this
that.
a physical poster available to you guys. You
That
let me
would
know
be
what you
wonderful.
think. Hit me up.
I say yes. I say
This
yes.
is so if we put them side by side, these are
Oh,
your issue 3 covers.
oh my goodness. That is wonderful.
So if you're getting
Beautiful, beautiful,
the
beautiful.
issue 3 collector's pack, this is what
Hmm.
you'll be getting. And that's a tier that was designed for you guys that have been following and supporting all the way through to make sure that you get your limited cover this time as well. But
Oh
I
my
mean
God.
that yeah, I'm super pleased with that
Oh boy.
for sure.
That's awesome.
Hey, hey,
I'm just have to put it up one more time.
one more. That's just another reason why you should be backing our campaign. If you weren't convinced and hadn't clicked the link in the bio yet, go check me out. Click the link in my bio on Instagram. We're on Facebook at CNS Comics
Okay.
also. Our Kickstarter link is everywhere. And we
Yes.
have tiers available all the way from $5 to $105 so that you can get your Tells of the Stars fix in and experience existence with a capital E.
That is
Keep it
awesome.
indie, baby. Always keep it indie, whether it's with me or with all these other amazing creators, but preferably first with me. But there's just a lot of really, really fantastic work going on right now. And I
Yes.
really just feel blessed to be a part of the
It is
indie
amazing.
revolution. It's amazing. It's amazing to
It
be here.
is. It really is amazing to be a part of indie comics because me coming back into comics like I told people before, after a whole 10-year hiatus of not collecting for a while, I had stopped collecting, and I came back last year during the pandemic. I'm like, you know what, let me get back into collecting my comics again. And I just so happened to someone mention, there's an independent comic. I'm like, what is an independent comic? What is that? Because all I knew was DC and Marvel. And then
Right,
I know a little
right.
bit about Dark Horse and things like that. But I was like, what is
Dark
independent
Horse
comic?
Image.
And then I was like,
Valiant was a really
yeah,
big thing for me growing up. I love some Valiant books.
yeah. And then I was like, okay, okay, what is that? So I didn't know what it was until I was introduced and I started meeting these people. And I'm just like, is people making their own comics really? And I'm just like, okay, I have to. That's when I started reading into it and got in contact with ICB, and here I am
It
today.
was Marcus the Visual and the Tuskegee Airs team in
Yeah.
Durham, North Carolina, that showed me what I believed was possible, was 100% possible. And I got my sign number 1 and 2 of the Tuskegee Airs. So
Oh, shame on you. I don't have one.
I'm out here. I'm picking up all my indie greatness because I really do believe that the stories that I've come across
Yeah.
are things that Hollywood covets. They're going to try to buy you out. They're
Yeah.
coming for you guys because what you're making is incredible work. So I'm trying to keep all my original indie stuff
Most
so that
definitely.
when everybody blows up, like Max told me, those are lotto tickets. We will never make the full size Talasha Zulu armor poster again. We may make a mini version,
Mhm.
um, but you'll never, there were only 10 of them. So you got one of those posters, you got one of the realest things I've ever made out of here. So
Oh wow.
Max got one. I see it on his back wall all
Whew.
the time. And it makes me feel very good on the inside when I see him out there. So
That is amazing. That is amazing stuff. So it has been oh, awesome, Mr. Lee, Mr. Wilson. We do thank you
thank
you
you. Thank
again
you.
for being on Kickstarter Connections. And Once again, just before we go, can you go ahead and let everyone know where to reach you or what social media platforms? Let's get that Kickstarter out one more
For sure.
time.
For sure. Anywhere that you can type something in CNS Comics, you will find us. We do dominate our own name, so you can Google us, you can write it in on Facebook. We're live on Kickstarter right now, so if you find us on Facebook or Instagram, the Kickstarter link is there for you. Make sure that you pledge before Friday so that you can get that exclusive mini poster for the Battle of Yorn. That's Talasha standing over top of the giant and like the
Mm,
smoky background, a piece done by JP Torres. Those will be available, unlimited number, but only until the 30th of April. We've got a tier that's just issue
mhm,
free, and we've got a tier that does all the Tales of the Stars series to get you caught up.
mhm.
Um, so definitely check us out on the Kickstarter. We are live until May 23rd, but get in there right now. Get in there before the 30th. And yes, that one right there,
That's the
you
one.
will get that one as a physical poster. That is currently the only physical poster available. But like I said, stay tuned for updates. I'll shoot something out to everybody following and back and to let you know when and what physical posters we make available for you. We've also added t-shirts as add-ons.
Oh,
So if you've
awesome.
hit a tier and you want a t-shirt that didn't have the tier, you can add one of those on as well. And if there's
Mhm.
something you want that you're not seeing, tell me. I respond. I will like
Yeah,
for reals be like, oh, for reals, you want that? You want to see that? And like 20
yeah.
minutes later, I'll put it up for you. So hit me
Awesome.
up. I'm out here. I'm a real indie creator, and we talk to
Yes.
you, and we'll talk back. So
We do talk
I'll,
back.
I'll
We do talk back. You get some
talk
people who
back.
respond and they don't even say a word or don't even see your message, but we do talk back.
Yeah,
But
I'll
yeah,
respond.
oh yeah, we all respond. We have to keep that conversation going. But once again, with Mr. Lee, we do thank you for joining us on Kickstarter Connections. It was a pleasure. Of course, we're waiting for you to hit those other big goals that are actually going on right now. For anyone that is just joining, yes, the show is about to end, but the link is still in the chat, so you can actually
Click
still
it.
go ahead and back Mr.
Click
Lee
it.
on his Kickstarter. He has 25 more days, and he has some good stuff that he can actually that actually very good stuff. So if you missed it, of course you can always rewatch this on my YouTube link. If you're not, the Scorpio Chronicles, you can find it there. You can rewatch, or you can also contact Mr. Lee at CNS Comics on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you can type in CNS Comics, you're going to find him, which is true. I typed it in anyway and I found him. So
That's
that's
right.
no excuse. But with all that being said, we thank you, Mr. Lee, for coming. We thank you all for joining. If there's nothing else, we thank you for coming to Kickstarter Connections. Like I always say, stay positive, test negative.